Kathy Clement with Kathy by Design. I'm glad you could join me here today. This is another project for the Frilly and Funkie Challenge blog, which is sponsored by the Funky Junkie Boutique. And the name of the challenge is Haunted Halloween. So I had such fun working with the 3D texture fades by Tim Holtz that I decided to create another one of these fun albums. This one I went with the other one was faux leather, and I'll link that below, and that's where you'll find the tutorial for building this base. This is the actual base that I built in that tutorial, and then I just finished it out. So for this one I've used Graphic 45 Master Detective, which is one of my favorite collections. It's just so fun and funky, and I love the colors in it, and it's just a great great album. So for this one I used the mechanical 3D texture fade, and I embossed the cover, and you can see there's really fantastic, well, I'll show you on the back. There's just such fantastic texture and dimension there. And then what I did was I used an emboss it dabber and put down a layer of Seth Apter's Chunky Rust Baked Texture, and that's what created this great rusty look. And then I went in with Prima Rust Pastes and just tapped in all these oranges and yellows and browns, and then I sealed the whole thing with Prima Clear Gesso just to protect the cover. So it's actually, you know, you couldn't put it in your bathtub, but if you accidentally get a little water on it, it would be fine. So we'll take a look at the cover. This guy measures, and I told you all of this in the tutorial, but this is 7.5 by 6, the covers are, and it has a 3-inch spine, which is, I think this is 3 inches. Let me double check. Yes, 3-inch spine. So I did all my mixed media, and then I layered up. I used some Tim Holtz Sizzix ornate labels, dies to die cut paper from the collection. I did some stitching of paper onto burlap, layered these all up. Steampunk charms from the Funky Junkie Boutique. This is Tim's Sizzix pocket watch die, which I have always loved, and I created a little scene on the inside with Sherlock and the lady, the mysterious lady. And then I used my emboss it dabber again and Ranger ultra thick embossing powder, UTEE, to create this faux watch face, which is really fun. Fussy cut, and this is Seth Apter vintage beeswax. I did a couple of layers on there, and in person, I don't know if you can pick it up on the camera, but in person it looks amazing. And this does two things. It gives it this wonderful vintage wax look, but it also strengthens that paper. So you can take little fussy cut things like this, add them to your composition, and you don't have to worry about them falling apart. The little spiders and skeleton are charms from the Funky Junkie Boutique. Then I found these old petaloo flowers in my stash and added those, a little 3/8 inch black satin ribbon. Now, to finish the pocket watch, this was really cool. First I painted it with black gesso. Then I went in with Ancient Amber Baked Texture from Seth Apter, and that created a really vintagey kind of gold look. And then I came back with patina oxide, and that's what gave it this wonderful vintage metal look. It looks so cool in real life. And then I also tapped some rust paste in here and there. I added some little prills along the edges just to add extra texture. You can see that all along there. This little spider, I just left my he actually moves, which is cool. I left my sewing machine thread long and then just tied it through the loop on the end. This vintage door knocker is from the Funky Junkie Boutique, and it just looks great on the rounded portion of this die cut ornate label. So the spine has some fun stuff going on. This is a black doily, crocheted doily that I found in my stash, and this is one of Tim's Halloween think it's assemblage, but I would have to double check. This wonderful steampunk key from the Funky Junkie Boutique, and then these are Tim's typed tokens, and I just used distress paint in Twisted Citron and Rusty Hinge to color the letters. And then here's just another look at the back, so you can see all that fantastic texture and color and rust. So the inside is really fun and interactive. Pocket here, and then I created this really fun little magnetic folio using images and stuff from the collection, and there's room inside. This measures 5 by 7, so you could put 4 by 6 photos in here, do your journaling up here, and there's room on the back for another photo, and that just tucks into this pocket. And then over here, this is, I love this check. I just love this check. I want a sofa or something, or a chair. I love this check. This is a little pull-out page, and I showed you in the tutorial that I'll link to how to do that. And then this is just a chipboard, and here I've used, look how cool that is. That is Seth Apter's Rocky Road Baked Texture, and I just put it over the clues portion on this image from the collection. Inside room, you could easily do 3 by 5 photos in here, journaling, and then photo on the back, and then this just slips in the pocket between the pages. And just very quickly, the way you do this is you just glue 3 sides of the page together, and little chipboard, little black satin. So this page turns, and here is this book is so big it's really hard to get it all in frame at the same time. But this is a mirror image double pocket page, pocket on either side. Room for a photo here. This is another little chipboard that I altered with chunky rust and some distress crayons and vintage beeswax and baked texture. And then I took the little Master Detective cards and made these cute little folios. So you could do journaling, you could do tiny photos in here. I love this collection. It is such a fun, if you ever played the Clue game growing up, which I did, it was a mainstay in my neighborhood. We would get together on the weekends and play Clue. Over the summer, play Clue. Same thing over here, more characters from the collection. So fun. So fun. So little border strips on the side. Then this is a double flap page, and I've used some of the tags and pockets. Here's a little mustache. Let me pull this in. Sorry. Here's a little mustache chipboard. Again, I used the Rocky Road, and it looks so cool. This is a 3 by 4 ephemera card. A little tag, punch out tag, and then this flips open, and I adhered 2 of these ephemera cards together so you can journal here, and then you can put a great big photo here. And the inside pages are 7 by 5.5. So you can easily do 4 by 6 photos. And the same thing here, mirror image on the other side, just a different ephemera card, this fun spider web paper, this great skeleton. And then here is another double waterfall. And I like putting this right in the center of the book because there's room, and then you don't end up with an album that bulges so much that you can't close it. This I just die cut from the 8 by 8 paper collection, and I created a little magnetic closure for that. Here is an ephemera card for journaling, and then you have all these wonderful, this is the patterns and solids, and I just dressed these up, and of course these are tuck spots. These are not, so you can get your photo back in behind there. And I sized this so you can do 4 by 5 photos in here. Again, these are all tuck spots. And same thing over here, just a different image, a different ephemera card. And so these are, here I cut this pocket and used just the flaps and created a cute little tuck spot there. But just a great spot to add photos, journaling, memorabilia, that sort of thing. And then this is a pull-out pocket on the side. This is a black regular tag, and I use the tags and gears die to cover that. So that's really fun. And that just tucks in there. And here is another big room for a photo, and I fussy cut this guy from the 12 by 12 paper collection, and then just stuck this cut apart. My name is Sherlock Holmes, so you could easily put photos back in there too, but I love how that looks. That's really cool. And then over here, I just kept this little extra piece, made a pocket. Here's room for photo, journaling, and that's fun. And then another little pull-out tag, just like the other one. And then here is a nice sized pocket, and I just matted these images from the 12 by 12 collection onto black cardstock to create photo mounts. So lots and lots of room for photos. And then here is another pull-out page with a photo mat here, and then room for photos. And this one measures, yeah, you can do 4 by 4 photo here. You can do a 3 by 4 or slightly larger photo here, and then there's on the back for photos. So just so fun. I love this collection. Okay, and then this is the last page, another insert here. So this one is a little bit larger. This one is 5.5 by 4.5, and then again on the inside just room for photos, and that tucks in here. And then this back pocket just decorated up with some fussy cut images from the paper and photo mounts here, and then ephemera cards here with room on the back for journaling or photos. And of course you can always fit more photos into the pockets. So that is my Haunted Halloween project for the Frilly and Funkie Challenge blog. I will link to the tutorial that shows you how to build this base below. They're super fun to make, they're not that hard, and it's a great way to create a not too overwhelming mini album that has some great mixed media techniques. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a joyful and creative day, and now I'm going to go get my craft on. Bye.
This path will lead you to an unholy place, a cemetery.